You are rolling.
Okay. Normally I don't do this. I don't comment or make commentary about these stupid reality shows, but this one just seemed to stick in my craw for some reason, and it's gonna take a while for me to get it all off my chest because I want to make sure that I cover all of the bases. So I hope y'all ready. Put your shields up. Do whatever it is you need to do. Get some popcorn. I don't care, but Chan, I done just had my fill. I can't do no
Brace for impact.
I can't stand you. I can't stand you. Okay. What this is all about is the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I know everybody has something they want to say about it and everybody has an opinion, but I'm going to give you the breakdown of how I think this entire thing, this entire foolery, the shenanigans, that whole fight thing, this is my opinion on all of it. First, I'm going to start by breaking down all the characters in the play, so to speak, all the players. And there are a couple people that I'm going to give a pass to in this whole fight scene situation, just a few people. And I think the people that I'll give a pass to will be Portia, her sister, Phaedra, and that has an asterisk, Monique, Chuck's wife, Lexus, Nene's friend, and Greg, Nene's husband. Now those people, I'm not going to even touch. They get a pass. Because they were just there they were just fluff for the piece. But the next person I'm going to talk about is Todd. And I think I'm going to kind of go in order who I think shoulders a lot of the responsibility. Todd. I absolutely don't think Todd was in any kind of way wrong. He did everything that he was supposed to do. As a man, he was supposed to stand there and, defend his woman, be there, speak up for her, and ask questions to the very people who were going around saying crap about him. So I don't hold him at fault at all. Y'all sitting around having a conversation where y'all supposed to be just talking and hamming it up, chopping it up. Why not? Call him on it. So Todd, I'm done with you.
Get the pass for the day, Todd. Yay!
Yeah, you get a pass. Next is Brandon. The fellow who ended up with the cracked rib and the black eye and the blemish on his face. I'm going to give you a pass too, because you did exactly what Todd did. Yeah, Kenya's not your girl. That's not your woman. But as a man, I don't give a rip that you're gay. You're still a man. And you were there as an escort to a lady. And it was your job to come to her defense. So, I don't hold you at fault in this at all either. And if I were you, I would have pressed charges. Because Aiden's daddy and Mr. President, whatever that little boy name is, those two kids' parents will still have two parents if you lock his ass up. Because he assaulted you. And I'll talk about him a little bit later. The next person I'm going to give a pass to, not give a pass to, but I want to talk about is Candy. Everybody was all up in arms, and she was even embarrassed about her behavior. But I'm going to put it like this. Everybody has taken a shot at Candy at some point in time. They said some slick shit, or they done pushed her to the limit, and all this other stuff, and she's always played it cool. The only time you see her turn up is when people get in her personal space. Now, being a short woman myself, I can totally understand that. Chan?
Yes, ma'am.
You're not a short woman.
Absolutely.
But if somebody walks up in your face, what you gonna do?
Hold on, short lady. Let me bend down.
Really?
Really? You asked me to be in the shot.
I just asked you to answer my question. I ain't asked you to get in the shot. But
Okay.
whatever.
I'm not a short
Somebody
woman.
walk up on you.
It's about to be one.
Okay. I just want to make sure. So, Candy.
And you can't stop me.
Candy, there was no need for you to apologize to the entire group. I understand your reasoning for doing it. You're a professional woman. You don't want this to count against your brand. But the only person that ultimately you did owe an apology to would have been Nene as the host and your man. Everybody else, you get what you get. Because you started it. Don't, like you said, don't start none. There won't be none. But if you started, you get what you get, as Chan would say. I don't strike, but I will defend. So if you come at me, I'm not going to be the first one to throw it, but I'm going to definitely shut it down. And I think that's what you did, and you had the right to do. The next person I'm going to get on is Mallory. You are the devil incarnate, bitch. First of all, let's just be clear. Every time you are around and there are other people other than your sister, drama ensues. There has never been a situation where you were there and there were other people around and there was not a problem. Not one time. You had no reason to step to Candy at all. Your sister was not in danger, so you can't say that you were coming to try and get in there for your sister, because your sister's man had it covered. She was standing behind him. You pushed her out of the way and got in between grown ass men. So while Nene talking about Kenya lucky she didn't get her ass whooped. You're lucky you didn't get it yours.
You have a text message.
Oh, I have a text message, but I'll deal with it next. So you started. You should have never put your hands on Candy. You pushed her dude twice, and you lucky you pushed the dude that you pushed. Because any dude that I know and where I came from.
Right, she lucky Todd ain't that hood nigga that knocked her ass back up against that motherfucking couch and said, now what? That's what she fucking lucky. She lucky Peter ain't the nigga that he is, because he'd have been knocked her punk ass out.
Yeah, because you always out of line. You always out of line. You always got to insinuate yourself in the situation. Ooh, pay attention to me. Ooh, it's about me. Yes.
And if it's the editing, then you need to take yourself off the show, because the editing really got your ass looking fucked up.
The editing don't have you looking messed up, because here's the thing. If you didn't do it, they can't edit it. That's what I always say. If I say something on here and I edit it out or I don't edit it out, I can't say that I didn't, you know what I mean? I can't get mad because I said it. So, that's that. You need to take your behind wherever your husband is and go be with him.
Take your ass back across the pond and start that shit over there.
I don't even know where your man is, but whatever he is, you need to go be there and stop stirring up stuff in your sister's group of friends. And then, since we talked about Peter, my man Peter. This is really inflammatory, and I know I'm probably going to, offend some people, but hey, that's what I do sometimes, and, these are my thoughts, and if you don't like it, you can turn it off, but that's why, you are one of the reasons why I don't fuck with Jamaican men. You. First of all, you have very little respect for women. The way that you talk to your woman and the way you tried to talk to Candy. You had no reason to walk up on Candy and tell her they acting strange and what and all this other stuff. There was no reason. If you had something you needed to say, you should have said it to her man or kept your mouth shut. Because when it was between the women, it should have stayed between the women. And furthermore, everybody want to blame Kenya, talking about it was Kenya's fault. Had you never put your hands on Brandon to try and break up whatever you thought was about to jump off, the aggression would have never ensued. There was an easy way for you to just stand in the middle and keep your hands up and be like, hey guys, or whatever. But for you to push, we know that was nothing but you pulling out your whizzer and trying to show, shake your dick. You know what I mean? So I got beef with. You were a spark in this entire thing. Next person I'm going to get on is Miss Kenya. Now, I can say that throughout, since you've been on the season, Miss Kenya, I have not been a fan of yours. You have not made a fan out of me. Was not fond of your character at all. But one thing about me is that I'm fair. And I will say, I don't blame you for none of that stuff. First of all, let's talk about this. You stood up out of your seat just like I would have. You have a 6-foot-something man walking, hovering over you, talking. Stand up. You never once addressed him. You then went straight and you did not rush, bombard. What was some of the other words they used? Charge. You didn't do any of that. We called it sauntered. When we first watched it, we was like, she sashayed, she sauntered. There was nothing aggressive about the way you walked toward that woman. And you were addressing the woman, which is exactly what you should have done. You walked right past Christopher and you went straight to her, to old girl. What was that? What's the broad's name?
Baby, I don't know.
Whatever her name is. You addressed her because she was the one over there yammering. She put the cables on her own dude, charged him up to try and come at you, and then go sit over there rah-rah and talking about some, don't try to backpedal now, when she is the queen of backpedal. So Kenya, I don't hold you at fault for this. Now, you showing up late, I do have an issue with that because you tried to charge Nene up earlier in the season about everybody else being late, but then you sauntered in late. So I will give you, a ding for. But everything else about this whole melee, as they refer to it, yeah, no, I don't think you're at fault for it. And shame on anybody who says that you are.
Especially up against a known woman beater. A known
woman. Exactly. Thank you, Chandra. I forgot to even say that. But I mean, it has been proven on record that this cat is, he has been known to put his hands on women. So I'm not going to let this dude walk up on me, and I can't blame you for not allowing him to walk up on you either. And for him to grab your arm, no.
And he had some force with it. Cause did you see the replay?
Yeah, I saw your skin was like...
Your skin was all
wait,
indented and stuff like that.
Yeah, I saw it too.
Yeah,
and I'm sure you felt it.
Yeah.
You're not going to grab on me. And then I want to say this to all the other ladies who tried to say he did not grab you. I don't know what level of abuse you are used to dealing with or how much you tolerate when it comes to a man putting their hands on you. But the fact of the matter is, when she said he put his hands on her, there should have been the end of it. It should have never been any discussion after that. It should have been like, oh, really? I didn't see that. Not say he didn't do it. Not try to justify it by saying you shouldn't have got up. None of that stuff. He should have never put his hands on you to grab you because you were not addressing him. You were not charging his woman. And if she's a grown woman, she can handle herself. She don't need you to intervene on her behalf.
And if you needed to intervene, why did you just step in front of her? Why do you feel the need to grab her? You could have stepped in front of her and did this.
Because you're a woman beater. You're a woman.
Yeah,
you're a lying, cheating woman beater. Yeah. And that's the bottom line. We gonna get on you just a little bit second. And matter of fact, I think it's a great segue.
It's a good segue right on into that bullshit.
Okay, Christopher Williams. I don't know what you've been smoking, but stop it.
What kind of mollies you been taking?
I don't know what kind of mollies you've been popping. I don't know what you've been doing. But you did absolutely nothing for your reputation. You did absolutely nothing to build your brand, which is why I'm sure you were even attracted to getting on the show in the first place to resurrect your career. Good luck with that after this. First of all, never put your hands on a woman. She did not come at you. And my mom from the school stuff. My mama used to tell my brother, don't hit a woman, but you do have the right to defend yourself. You were in no way in jeopardy. There was no reason for you to approach that woman. There was no reason for you to walk over to her hovering. There was no reason for you to grab her arm and then try to backpedal after everybody is gone, after she gone, and after the other guy is gone. You want to say, well, I just wanted to address the situation. To who? Because the person you needed to address the situation with was no longer there. It's too late to clean up the mess. You are a coward. You a bitch ass dude because you set this shit in motion and you sat back and watched it all go down. You watched Apollo assault this other dude. You watched Candy get crunk. You did, and Candy didn't even have to get crunk if it wasn't for you and your bitch ass girl. I don't know if she your wife. I don't know if she your girlfriend. I don't know if she your common law wife. I don't know if she even with you, based on some of the stuff that you said, because I have video that I will insert in here that shows that you even said in the year 2013 that you were single. That means that I'm not married. That means I'm not divorced. That means I'm not widowed. That means that you're not with anybody. So if you... Exactly. You're single. Single. So... I'm inclined to believe that Kenya was correct on her assessment of the things that you may have said. And I'm sure you probably did because you're a man and you was probably trying to push up on her and get some ass. So you're going to say whatever you need to say to try to lighten the load for you because the straightest distance between 2 points is a straight line. So you pushed all the clutter out the way and go straight to it. So I don't doubt for a second that you told Kenya that she wasn't your wife, she was just your girl or your common law, whatever. But because you did that, you did some bitch ass, now I got to do damage control, and you going to confront a woman about some stuff that some women said because you let your woman put you on some charges and you know that you was in the wrong. You should have just said, you know what? Don't even worry about it, babe. We're together. There's no reason to even address it. None whatsoever. If you so sure that she's lying, why do you care what somebody that she just met believes about your relationship? Huh?
She ain't lying. You said it.
You said it. We know you said it. I know you said it. I wasn't there. And I'm a lot of things, but I'm not a fool. And deductive reasoning leads me to believe you did say it. And now you're trying to clean up the mess. Too late. Too late, buddy. Too late. Who's next? Apollo.
I don't understand that shit for the world to me. I have no clue why he stood up. None whatsoever.
Apollo, the reason why you so high on my list of people to blame or people who are at fault for this entire thing was because you were sitting with your wife, having a cocktail, watching the show. And you felt, for whatever reason, you wanted to jump up and insinuate yourself into this problem. Now, clearly, Peter had it under control. You jumped up from the couch and choke slammed this boy. Choke slammed him. He didn't touch you. He didn't threaten you. He didn't accost you. He never even addressed you. There was no reason for you to put your hands on him. You can't blame it on editing, baby, because there was no reason for that man, for you to have jumped up and assaulted that man in the manner in which you did. And I hope that the state of Georgia actually takes up the charges against you. He don't necessarily need to press the charges in order for them to charge you with assault and battery. Because clearly that footage shows that you assaulted him without provocation. I don't know. I'm with Kenya again. I don't know if you was having some kind of prison flashback and you felt like you had to protect your virginity. And you just went ham. I don't know. I don't know if you felt like you had something you wanted to get off your chest with this dude and this was your opportunity. But you snuck him. And that's a bitch move. I can't respect a bitch. I cannot respect that bitch ass move. And you know it. You snuck that dude. You snuck him. You snuck him. One thing I know is that you don't try to outdress, outdance, or outdozen or fight no gay boy. One, they fight for a living. Literally. They fight for their lives on a daily basis from homophobic. So, so don't do it. So you had to sneak them.
And they take a dick better than you.
Thank you. My sentiments exactly. I said it before on my show. Listen, you get all respect to me, gay boys. You want to know why? Because I had to take a dick in my life. And if you could take a dick, you could take a punch. So I am not mad at you at all. So, with that being said, Apollo, you're a bitch. And you need to be locked in a cage where you belong. Because you did some bitch shit. Period. And that cockamamie ass story that he concocted for Phaedra.
He concocted it for the camera.
I know it, but I understand that. I know that was damage control.
Yeah, that's what he concocted.
But you don't have to do damage control if you don't do damage.
Hey, look.
You broke that boy's rib. You blacked his eye. You stomped him out. Like,
I don't know why he stood up. I'm just still at all at the fact that he stood up.
There was no reason.
It was no reason for that.
It was no reason.
Peter had it clearly handled.
Yep.
Whatever the aggression was, whatever the pissing contest was, Peter had it handled.
He didn't have to get in the game. You did not have to get in the game. Nobody tagged you in.
You could have did what great what fag not fag. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
I'm sorry. Oh, I gotta edit that out. Sorry. That's not what I meant to say.
The editing.
Chuck. Ain't that the boy's name?
Girl, don't even give me your Chuck yet. Okay. Don't even give me your Chuck yet. Girl, please. Don't even. Okay. But listen. So, Apollo, it's a wrap for you on so many levels. It's a wrap for you on so many levels. Which brings me to Cynthia. Yeah, Miss Thing, you didn't get off scot-free on this one. You are almost as culpable in this entire thing as the Queen Beast herself. Yes, I said beast, not bee. Beast. But I'm going to get to her in just a second. I'm going to handle you first. First and foremost, you were completely out of line. One, Candy came to you in confidence, talking to you about the situation that was happening with her relationship with her dude. For you to speak out of turn and mix company with people she don't know, meaning Christopher and his girl, about her relationship, talking about your mother having concerns, talking about her mother having concerns, that was not your place to do. And for you to sit there and entertain that conversation, you and your husband, oh, so you saying here opportunist, all that other stuff, that wasn't cool. If that's your people, you should have dead that. Or if you're going to sit there and get all the info, because I've been known to do it, I sit there and I listen to everything you have to say. But I'm going to tell my people. Because if you're friends to her and you friends to her, then you cannot do one over the other. You know what I mean? So you then perpetuated the BS by getting on the bus on the way to the vineyard in mixed company yet again, and had diarrhea at the mouth and was telling everything. You spilled all the tea about the conversation you was having with dude and his girl.
So much so that Kenya
Was like,
oh, who is this Cynthia person? My God. But I'm going to listen to it.
absolutely. Who wouldn't?
Right.
Who wouldn't? So, you know what? I'm not even cool with that. That's not something that a friend would do. I don't know. Okay, go ahead. Continue. That is not something that a friend would do. You done sat up there and you done talked about all of this. The first thing that you should have done after having that conversation is, one, you could have called Candy. If you wanted to wait until y'all got to the vineyard, you could have waited until y'all got to the vineyard, pull her to the side and say, hey, my girlfriend is coming, but we had dinner the other night. This is the conversation. I don't know if you want to address it now, or you just don't want to address it at all, or you would rather have lunch with us and address it later. You're my light. Yes, thank you. And we could deal with it later. But you should not have had that conversation with Nene and all of them on the bus. So they all know something, giggling, sniggling, knowing something about this girl before. And then you sitting at the table acting like, oh no, until you got dragged into it. Because you weren't going to say nothing. You was going to let, you threw your own girl under the bus because you let her sit there and have to defend herself to all these broads at the table. And you never once came to her defense. Never once. Mm-hmm. And then you're going to try and clean it up. And then you got even messier. What they call it, shady boots. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that's what you did. You got it even messier because after all of this and Candy set you straight and your girl had the gas face, afterwards, you go home and tell your dude like you sicking him on her. You ain't caused enough damage. Is Candy really your girl? I mean, that you gonna now sick your boy on her?
She said some stuff about Peter.
Well, she said some stuff, and I took it some kind of way. I felt like she said that she wasn't trying to throw shade, but it felt that way to me. That's because you and your feelings. But she had every right. It's okay for you to talk about her dude and let your people talk about her dude, but she can't say nothing about yours. Uh-huh. When in essence, she didn't even say anything about your dude. She actually gave your dude credit. Like, yo, I know things about him, but I ain't carrying that shit over into his relationship with you. That don't have nothing to do with you. So why are these people speaking out of turn and you not even checking them on it? You're wrong, Cynthia. You started all of this mess. And then we gonna get to your girl, your BFF, the one you always up under her left nipple. The queen beast herself. It's the shit starter, the Bob Arum of the Real Housewives. Yeah, you were fine, Nene, when you were working in LA and you had your brand to protect. But now that your shows aren't on, you gonna get on here and go back to the old Nene of starting stuff and then acting like, I don't know what happened. First of all, let me say something to you. If you gonna start something and you want to say, I didn't come here to be hood with y'all. Don't say things like fistisis. There's no such thing. You are not that educated. You are not that fabulous. You are not that far above the fray. Knock it off. Now, as far as this whole little melee goes, you had it in for Kenya from the start. You were upset that she was late, but you let 4 other broads come hours and hours and hours late to your trip that you had planned, and you played it cool. You even played it cool when you felt some kind of way about Candy taking the room that everybody else thought you wanted. You played it cool then, but you all of a sudden had to pop off on Kenya because she showed up to your event late. You want to know why you were so angry? Because you had planned some bullshit. And had she not shown up, your little plan could not have come to fruition. Because if you going to go behind Cynthia's back and invite her friends to an event that she didn't even know they were invited until she just happened to be sitting there chopping it up with you, sounds like you were up to something. No, it wasn't no, let's have some pillow talk to kind of put things under so we can smooth things over since we all got to be around each other. Because you don't have to be around Christopher and his girl. They ain't part of the cast.
You don't have to be around the non-paying folks.
You didn't have to be around Chuck and his girl Monique. Because, clearly you wanted to start some mess. You knew Chuck had said all kind of crazy shit about Candy and Phaedra. But it was your attempt to try and start some crap with that. Not to clear the air, because if you wanted to clear the air, you could have said something in the truck where he was saying all that crazy stuff about her in her absence and to this woman's face. But you didn't. You didn't. You didn't. You made a scene when the girl came in. She already acquiesced when you said, well, you could have sent me a text. She said, you're absolutely right. I apologize. But you kept going in. You telling everybody else not to get out their seats, but it was okay for Christopher to stand up and do his whole announcement.
And then walk up on her.
But here's the thing. You said stay in your seats. Portia even tried to help out and say, well, sir, can you have your seat? And he was like, nah, I'm going to stand up for this. She was like, oh, okay, fine.
And the little rat in the back talking about, yeah, he needs to stand up. He needs to stand up.
Is that his girl?
Yeah.
The one who we don't know if it's his wife, his girlfriend, his common law, whatever you are, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. Again, she's so insignificant to me because, she's just...
I'm just pointing it out.
She just wanted to be seen. That's why you were sitting there with the gas face when you tried to, whatever. But anyway, so... because that didn't work out for you, now you go and turn the screws, and turn up the heat. So you want to let him stand up. You're going to even let him walk up on her. Walk over her.
Yep.
To her.
Yep.
If you want to stand there right in the step, be the monkey in the middle and say what you got to say. But there's no reason for you to walk over to her. If you just wanted to turn in her direction, her meaning Kenya, you could turn in her direction. But for you to put one foot in front of the other and start going in her direction while she's sitting down, not cool. Not a good look. And you think it's Kenya's fault?
They were just questions.
You just want everything. Yeah, they're just questions. Yeah, I question a lot of things. I question your motive. I question a whole lot about you. Because that was not cool. And for you to continue to say that it's Kenya's fault and everybody don't see it your way, you're crazy. You're all delusional. You looking at it from your vantage point. Your vantage point was to start some shit from the start. And it happened. It got out of control. You didn't expect Apollo to jump in and assault this dude. You didn't expect that. But you did expect some fireworks. The only reason to bring Christopher and his girl in was to start that shit with Candy now.
Because your line of questioning said.
All of that stuff you talking about, we were having a lot of fun. Yeah, maybe editing, we didn't get a chance to see all of the other questions. But the questions that I did hear, I'll tell you this. As a relationship expert who's a certified life coach, you were starting mess. Nothing good could have come from asking those questions in mixed company. Nothing good could come from that. Especially a group of people who half the time don't get along. Why would they disclose personal information like that in this group of people? In front of cameras. Come on, man. Knock it off. You ain't fooling me. You are not fooling me. Not at all. Was there something else I said I wanted to talk about?
Apparently not
her?
the rest of America, because on What's Happening Live, the rest of
That's
America
right.
said the same
Yeah.
thing. It was your fault. So you
It
ain't
is
fooling nobody. But
You're not
yourself.
fooling nobody. You could go on that whole press tour all you want. And you could try and deflect and say, I'm embarrassed, as black people, blah, 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 blah. But you set these wheels in motion. You set it in motion. Because you were acting erratic all night. The whole sauntering back and forth. And what was with the weird... I know this is random, but what was the weird-ass half-dressed, supposedly models you had? The dude in his drawers and the girls in her lingerie. What the hell was that?
And where the fuck did they go?
What? They was standing off to the side.
Oh, I missed it.
Yeah, they didn't get paid enough for that shit.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, what was that? It was weird. The whole entire thing was weird. It was weird, and it was set up to cause some mess. Okay, I understand y'all coming close to the end of the season, and you wanted to make sure, every year at the end, there's always this big thing.
You're
But
making sure that you don't lose another show. Ain't nobody fool.
but I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed.
I'm very disappointed.
I am extremely disappointed. I ain't never been Team Nene, but I ain't never not been Team Nene. But you showed a lot about who you are. You showed a lot about your character. Cynthia, you showed a lot about your character. And the fact that you guys are saying that you're mad at Kenya for not accepting her responsibility in this, none of you guys are accepting culpability as well. Oh, I forgot this about Cynthia. For you to sit there at that table and tell that girl, my sister didn't touch you, you don't know what the hell your sister did. Right. And you do, as a matter of fact, you do know. You may not have known for certain that she pushed her, but you knew she was out of line because she over there whispering in your ear that she was going to fuck Candy up tonight. Mm-hmm. She was going to whoop Candy's motherfucking ass. Whatever beef Mallory got with Candy, you should have just said, you know what? I don't know what happened. All I'll say is this.
Whatever that is.
Whatever it is. But you shouldn't be talking about trying to defend her. You shouldn't have been trying to defend her. You knew she was in the wrong. You knew she put her hands on Kandi. And I'll tell you this. If I had to put money on anybody, my money would have been on Kandi. All day. All day. Yeah, I believe she would have dragged your ass.
I don't believe Mallory would have got drugged.
I don't believe.
I believe Mallory would have lost.
Because it would have been decisive. It would have been decisive.
I think Mallory would have lost. I don't know,
because she would have been getting everything. She wouldn't have just been getting, you pushed me. She'd have been
getting the mama. She'd been getting the wedding. She'd been getting all the business stuff. She would have been getting a lot.
She'd have been getting a lot.
I think the sister would have. I don't think the sister would.
I'm not saying she would have just laid down, but I'm saying it would have been considerable. It would have been considerable. It wouldn't have been like how the Denver Broncos went down to the Seattle Seahawks.
No, I don't think it would have been like that. No.
It would have been like that. Yeah, but clearly, a loss is still a loss. Yeah, it don't matter. It'd have been a loss. Almost only counts in horseshoes. Yeah. So with that being said, Cynthia, I'm disappointed. No. I'm really disappointed. No. As Talking Tom says, no. And then finally, before I end my tirade, this is just for comic relief because the biggest joke in all of this, and I don't know if y'all missed it, but it did not get past me. The biggest joke is the big homie. Dude, you are a professional football player. You talking all this in the truck about how you smashed this and everybody, you was the big homie and everybody wanted you and this, that, and the other. But you're standing in the middle of a fight behind your woman.
In a bookcase.
In a bookcase. You in the crevice, in the nook like this. Why they do that?
Like you waiting for the overseer or some shit.
You look like, let me stay out of this because I don't want nobody to start with me. What? Behind your girl. She's your shield. Really? If you notice, no matter how improper the other men's behavior was, they always were in front of their women. Mm-hmm. Always in front of their women to block them from anything that may have gone down. The fight was moving in your direction, and you're standing behind your girl. You ain't had your arm around her. There was no evidence that you were trying to protect her whatsoever. None. Zero.
But that just...
But you're the big homie.
But no,
you're really, a big bitch.
All right, I was going to say, you're really the big bitch because you played that bitch bullshit in the trunk.
You ain't no homie of mine. Talking about some big homie. No big homies of mine ever acted like that. Never. Never. You're soft. You're soft. And you're soft because you went to go and jump up and talk up and down about who you smashed and all this other stuff, but now you going back to do the damage control with your wife about how you tried to minimize your relationship with Kandi. You tried to I don't know men who just smashing somebody who paying somebody bills.
Right.
You're not the big homie, you're the big trick.
Right.
Let's be clear. Let's be clear. Now, how severe your relationship was with Kandi is of no consequence. You not with her. You married to this lady. Why you gotta lie about it? You ain't gotta lie to KiKi. You ain't gotta lie. What'd he say? You ain't gotta lie.
You ain't gotta lie.
Mm-mm. I don't get it. You're a bitch. I have never, Chan.
Yes, ma'am.
There are a lot of things. Ma'am, it's my mama, you know.
Sorry.
There are a lot of things that I know. But I have never, ever, ever in all my days seen so many guys, I'm not going to even call them men, so many guys that act like women.
They act like bitches.
They're, what we call them? Estromales.
Estromales.
You're full of estrogen. I don't know if it's the fish that are drinking and swimming in the water where they dumping the hormones, the chemical companies are dumping the hormones and feminizing the fish, and then you guys are ingesting the fish and it's feminizing y'all. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to really need for y'all to grab your nuts every once in a while and mean it. Do it. Mean it. I need you to mean it. Because this bitch assness has gone too far. You messy broads, I'm used to y'all. I'm saddened that it's perpetuated in reality TV that women can't get along. Because this mofo right here, that's my ride or die. Ride or die. Me or her, either way.
It might be the latter one day.
But it's not going down. It's not going down. It's four of us. We have been friends for years. We have been a group
30.
for over 30 years. 30 years. Never had no fights. Never had no arguments. Ain't nobody try to sleep with nobody's man.
Disagreements.
Ain't nobody try to sleep with nobody's man. We might be the Bickersons. We might bicker a little, but it don't mean nothing at the end of the day. May not talk to one for a long time, but when you pick up the phone or you call, it's bam, boom.
It's like missing an appendage.
Off to the right. So, the fact that y'all trying to perpetuate this whole thing that women can't get along, groups of women can't get along, it's not true. Insecure, petty women cannot get along. Y'all can't coexist in the same place. And it's not about, we're all strong personalities, we're alpha females. No.
Because all 4 of us are alphas.
Thank you. That's not what it is.
All 4 of us.
Clearly, you're insecure. Clearly, you're immature. Because all the external stuff, and then the fact that, this is the thing. The fact that y'all all trying to make it about Candy saying, you don't talk about my man. You don't talk. You're annoying me. Because it's not about Candy's man. That's not what it's about.
It's not about Candy's man. It's not about Candy's food.
It's not about any of that. It's about you people are talking out of school.
That's that superficial level.
Y'all need to dig a little deeper. Mm-hmm. It's not about, and then for you to say about this dude, you called him a queen, said he was in a prom dress or whatever it was. This is still a man. You, of all people, you the biggest drag queen I've ever seen, and you female, and that's still questionable. But whatever. But for you to sit and say all these things, these disparaging things about this gay man, when you have a huge fan base that's gay. Disrespectful. But you do all of that to deflect and get it off of you. You can't throw the rock and hide your hands. We saw it. You have been exposed.
You can't blame editing.
Stop blaming editing. You've been on this show longer than anybody. Now you want to blame editing? Why? Because you come out looking like the bad guy? Mm-hmm. Get over it. You did it.
She had Kim at one point in time.
Yeah, to be her scapegoat. Yeah.
It was all Kim.
Yeah. But see, now she had all these other things that she could deflect from. Mm-hmm. She could talk about Kenya being crazy. Mm-hmm. She could talk about, you know what I mean? It's all these other things that you could say. No, baby. You created this all by yourself. And shame on you, because you're too old to behave the way that you behaved in this instance. If you were sincerely interested in making a kumbaya moment, you would have not created a volatile environment, a hostile environment. You cannot. Peace will not come from that. It won't. It won't. Especially in a situation where these people don't feel comfortable around each other just having lunch. Not going to happen. Not buying it. I don't care how hard you sell it.
But I do want to say one thing. I do want to congratulate you on your marketing skills, because you did get yourself probably renewed over this bullshit for another couple of years. So, there you go.
Are you proud of me?
Am I proud of you for what did you do? You held it in?
I gave credit to somebody that you say I'm always hard on.
Yes, I am. I am very proud. I am, and I'm gonna say this on record that I have been trying to roll with Kenya since the first time she got on the show, and sometimes, most often than that, I usually have to retract my statement, because sometimes I flow with Kenya, and then sometimes I go, "Damn, Kenya, come on now, Jesus H Christ." But this particular time, I flowed with you all the way, and I don't care what she had said. I was gonna rock with you on this one, because you can't have no man walk up on you talking to you no kind of way. And if you got another broad barking, chapping in your ear, you supposed to walk up on her. It's what I
walk
had
up to her, not on her. Walk up to her. You addressing her.
Tomato.
No.
However, I'm talking about for me.
Okay.
I'm talking about you.
Walking up to me and walking up on me is something different.
Well,
walking up on me, you in my personal space. But go ahead.
She didn't get a chance to really walk up on. She didn't get a chance to invade her personal space before she got assaulted.
Right. But because everybody was invading her personal space.
Right.
Christopher invaded her personal space. She ignored that and walked. Then he again invaded her personal space.
Right. But I have been saying it has been a tough sell, Kenya. I've been trying with this one to just listen to it. Yeah, she winds up taking it too far and wind up having to pull herself back. But in the deep roots of things, a lot of times you do be right. But this one right, she do. See, and again, I say.
Tomato. Perspective is everything. But I will say, like I said, I'm woman enough to admit this time I'm rocking with you till the wheels fall off on this one, sister girl. Right. I'm rocking with you on this one.
Everybody needs to take accountability.
Absolutely. Nobody is without fault.
Nobody is without fault, except for the first group.
Except for the past group that was just happened to be there for the show.
Happened to be there for the show. They're the only ones get a pass. But everybody, including Kenya, needs to take accountability for their role. Yes, had she never stood up, Christopher would have never put his hands on her.
But for not him standing over her,
she wouldn't have stood up. Right. So everybody has
it's the chicken or the egg. Which one came first? Situation.
Everybody has a piece to play in the whole scenario. Right. We get that. But
it's not your
you
fault,
don't let nobody walk up on you.
It's not your fault, can you?
Not no man.
It's not. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, this is your event. You put this together. You're the host, Nene. And you are responsible for your guests in the sense that you create an environment that's welcoming, that's calm, that's relaxing, that is not combative and contentious. And you did not do that. You fostered that type of environment. You created that type of
questions.
And not only that, your attitude was shitty all day.
Fucked up
and you can't, but you mean to tell me Kenya's absence caused you to be that upset? Really?
And if it wasn't, and here's what my mindset is with that round of questioning. Had you not fostered something between Christopher and the Chihuahua?
That would be his wife, girlfriend, common law. Yeah.
Okay. Had you not fostered some kind of beef between right then, you would have took it to Chuck and tried something with Candy, Phaedra, and Apollo. But the whole series of questions, because you cannot ask a woman who just finished, and you know they had past relations, well, what do you feel about you being in the same room with your husband's other?
Let's ask you that. How would you feel if you were in the room with the broad that your dude cheated on you with and publicly went, it was public with? How would you have felt then?
Baby?
We should have asked you that question. Maybe somebody should have invited her to be in the room.
Baby, if I was Kenya, that's what I would do next season. That bitch would be my new best friend.
Don't get them no storylines for free. Don't get them no storylines for free. If we see that happening, Bravo, we coming for you. Peachtree Entertainment. We gonna come and see you. You heard it here first. Her new best friend is Marlo, but that's a whole other story altogether. But I will say, that's all I really wanted to say about this. But I just want to be clear, ladies and gentlemen, that this reality is not reality. This is scripted reality. So they create environments to get a quasi-real response. And I want you to be clear about it. But I don't want you to be delusional that there are no people out here like that.
That shit happens every day.
Happens every day. And I want you guys to be conscious about what you're doing and what images you're portraying and depicting out there. Yeah, you may not have a camera crew broadcasting your every move every single day, but you have children that are watching you. You have other people that are watching you every single day. Every single day. So watch what you're doing. And be responsible and accountable for the things that you say and the things that you do. Because they do matter. And people do look at you and it does count for something. You can't get mad, Apollo, that everybody wants to bring up the fact that you were in prison when you do something that's prison behavior.
And you may be going back.
You can't get mad when you get called on being a cheater when you were cheating before. You can't get mad that people bring up the fact that you used to beat women when in fact you did. You may not be currently doing it now, but you did. You can't get mad. So be very clear about what memories and what issues you want to leave out there on the table for people to talk about and for people to look at and examine and base their opinions of you on. I'm just disappointed on so many levels. I'm disappointed on the behavior, the lack of conflict resolution, the lack of ability to be able to articulate yourselves, the fact that this grown woman in her 40s who's somebody's grandmother said fistuses. Fistuses. But you want to say, I didn't come here to get hood with y'all. Really? Okay. I'm done.
I think on that note,
I'm done.
We're going to put the fistuses down. You can put the fistuses down.
I'm done.
You didn't do what you were supposed to do. And then
yes, that's it. Have a good day.
Toodles.